So having symptoms like bladder urgency or frequency, even pelvic discomfort, pain during intercourse or being intimate with your partner, these things can all be signs of tense and shortened pelvic floor muscles. What does that even mean? And how do you know if you have increased tension in your pelvic floor and what you need to do about it? Keep watching this video and we're going to talk about that today. My name is Dr. Dawn Andalon. I'm a pelvic floor specialist, a women's health physical therapist, and I've helped thousands of women get over their pelvic pain and discomfort by giving them a holistic solution that does not involve medications or surgery. So on this channel, I have a lot of other helpful videos to do with pelvic floor exercises and explaining about pelvic floor conditions. And tense and shortened pelvic floor muscles is actually more common than women think. This is a problem because your muscles, anytime we're sitting, they're in that shortened stage, or when we're stressed out and we're having this subconscious kind of neuromuscular response with your nervous system, you can hold a lot of that tension actually in the pelvic floor muscles, these muscles at the bottom of your pelvis. And these muscles are responsible for supporting your pelvic organs like your bladder, your uterus, your rectum. They're responsible for sexual function and also the support at the bottom part of your pelvis when you're sitting and standing and walking and moving around. So it's important, like any other muscle group in your body, that these muscles are functioning properly, and they should be able to have enough length but also enough strength. And if you were told to just work on Kegels and tightening and strengthening, but your symptoms are getting worse or just not improving at all, then most likely you have some tension in your pelvic floor. And these exercises and the strategies I'm going to talk about today are important for any woman. So you always want to work on the relaxation component of a muscle. So therefore, when it's called upon and when it has to come into play to support, it's kind of like a trampoline with the recoil, and it has to support your bladder, your uterus and your rectum and your pelvic organs in a way that it can get enough force of a contraction. So lengthening and relaxing the muscles actually do more benefit than people realize. And how would you even know this if you have tight and tense pelvic floor? Well, those are some of the symptoms that I see a lot in the clients that I see with bladder issues, or even bearing down a lot of like sporting activities, weightlifting, gymnasts, dancers, ice skaters. They tend to grip a lot with their glutes and their core and pull in those muscles a lot. So they may have some adaptive shortening that takes place over time. Or if you spend a lot of time sitting at a desk or in a car, you may have tight and tense pelvic floor muscles. Any of those symptoms with having pain with intercourse, or any kind of lower back sacroiliac pain or pelvic discomfort, though that usually comes with a benefit of doing some pelvic floor release and pelvic floor relaxation techniques. Okay, well, it's important to know how to work on number one thing that can help release your pelvic floor muscles and cause that tension to dissipate. And that is using some diaphragmatic breathing. Some breathing exercises are very important because this down regulates the nervous system. It allows those muscles to release tension and be conscious of it, because many times women are not aware when they're actually holding that tension there. And even though you're trying to concentrate and relax them, your muscles need some help. And we're going to use the diaphragm muscles to create an impact on the pelvic floor, which is below it, and they have to work together. So with diaphragmatic breathing, we want to imagine that you're gonna take that air and when you inhale, you get that air down into the pelvic area and your lower belly, below your belly button. So if you take a deep inhale, and then you take an exhale, you want to keep it slow and controlled. You also want to imagine those muscles right in your vaginal area are opening, kind of like a flower opening up. So you're not bearing down and pushing anything. You're just allowing that space between your legs to kind of imagine opening and letting go. this is impacting your pelvic floor and allowing that tension to decrease. This is so helpful when it comes to holding pain and any kind of tension on your bladder, that those muscles need to learn how to let go, and we need to train them. So I would do about 10 of these diaphragmatic breathing exercises with a deep inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. And every time you exhale, just imagine the tailbone kind of sinking into the mat, sinking into the floor, and allowing those muscles to let go right between your legs. This can also be helpful if you have your legs up in a 90-degree position, like against a wall. I find that helpful too for the people that I see with lower back pain. This can also help release any of that unwanted tension from your lower back down into your pelvis as well. Now, the number 2 thing you're gonna do is find a meditative practice. And I know a lot of people are not good at meditating. I myself am not great at it, but I think it's very helpful if you're searching on a platform, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you listen to music, that you look for some calming music or even a guided meditation, something you can do even with walking outside, sitting in a nice quiet space, dark space, and comfortable, where you can really focus on your breathing and also just be able to get in that zone where you're tapping into your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your nervous system that creates this relaxation and this letting go subconsciously of your muscles. And it's very helpful, but a lot of times we just don't take the time to do it, but it's very impactful. It is even helpful for people that just need to work on their focus and you have a lot of stress and tension in your life. And if you're taking 15 to 20 minutes a day and working on a meditative practice, whatever that can mean to you, and I find that this can be just serve wonders for the clients that I see that are holding a lot of pelvic floor tension there. So you need to find something that works for you, but a guided meditation is great, or looking for some calm, relaxing music that you can just get in that zone, and you can even work on the breath work with that calming music or a guided meditation. So that is the number 2 thing. That number 3 is a couple different stretches and exercises. We can think of these like therapeutic yoga poses that are very helpful for letting those pelvic floor muscles go. I'm going to show you 2 of my favorites, and the first one you can do in 2 different positions, whatever is comfortable for you. But when your hips are a little bit tight, that impacts your pelvic floor muscles because they're all connected. So I like to do a figure 4 stretch, and if you're on your back with one ankle, you cross it over your knee, and then you reach both hands underneath the lower leg and you pull that towards you. You're gonna notice that you're gonna get a good hip stretch, a glute stretch through here, and it's also gonna stretch in some of those deep hip muscles that attach around your tailbone. So if this is really hard for you to get into, then another variation would be sitting in a chair and you're just crossing your leg like this and you're pushing that knee away from you and trying to open up the hip. This is more effective, but you can also do sitting. Another modification, you can take this leg, this bottom leg, up on a wall so it can assist you to get that stretch there. But if you can't get in this position, it definitely tells me that your hips are really tight and you need to work on some hip opening exercises and some pelvic floor stretching and release type of exercises. So this is going to be a good place to start. And then the second exercise that you can do is called a happy baby or a deep squat. So in yoga, you grab on to either your big toe or even the outside of your foot, and you're gonna come up in this position here. If this again is hard to do or it bothers your hips, you can also get into a child's pose position and even placing a pillow. Okay, I have a yoga pillow here, so I'm gonna put it on the sides of my knees. My knees are gonna go out wide, and I'm gonna stretch back into my heels. And I'm gonna work on that deep breathing, and you can feel those muscles right behind your hips and in between your legs. Just feel like, imagine a flower opening up. That's the best analogy that I can give, but you're giving that opening, that release, and letting go. So with any of these exercises, you want to listen to your body and hold stretches for a minimum of 30 seconds to a minute when you do them. If you're in a child's pose, you can work on 2 or 3 deep breaths and then go to hands and knees and then go back into it. Now, therapeutic yoga, some therapeutic type of Pilates moves. There's a lot of great things that you can do to help open up the hips and work on your hip flexibility. But that in turn can definitely help the pelvic floor muscles be able to get in a better state so they can support your bladder better. They can create less pain and tension there. So all of those can be helpful. So let me just summarize again. We had the number 1 was diaphragmatic breathing. Number 2 was doing a meditation, whether that's guided or some relaxing music, something to get you in that lower sympathetic nervous system state. We want the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in. And number 3 is choose 2 to 3 yoga poses or stretches that you can do on a daily basis, even twice a day, that are gonna help release that tension in the pelvic floor and improve your hip mobility, which in turn can have some surprising effects with helping your back pain or just helping you get up and down from the floor easier. It has so many benefits, and many women over the age of 45 to 50 are limited in their hip motion. So this is something to continue working on, and you can gain flexibility at any age. That's important to know. So it's something you definitely want to add into your routine. Now, I hope you found this helpful. If you're having any other pelvic pain or discomfort, make sure you do check in with your medical practitioner if it's above and beyond with what you've learned here and your symptoms are not improving after 7 to 10 days. So I hope you enjoyed this. I have more videos all about pelvic floor and back pain and also some Pilates type exercises on this channel. So hit subscribe and you'll get notified every time I release a new video. Thank you so much for watching.